Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5 o'clock. We're going to begin our general meeting, our weekly general meeting. We're going to start our meeting. It's going to be me and Sky, and our minutes is going to be King and Keener. So we're going to first have our housekeeping and then attendance, reading admission statement, approval of agenda. Later, we have secondly, we're going to go with public comment, which will be 5:05 to 5:20, which will give any individual the time to give, to properly give their comment or to have any questions. We will allocate that if they're not present to when they are. Later, we have our announcements and updates, beginning of our staff, standing committees, advisory committees, and then later open floor. And fourthly, we have our new business where we have our discussions, our involvements, our resolutions, and to create a representative for the Strategic Planning and Advocacy Committee. And finally, we'll have our closing. I would like to start with attendance. I'm going to start from the left side of the row and going down.
Emma Fox present. Ruby Pod present.
Rowan East present.
Hey, Barry present.
Matthew Rathman present.
Cyrus Holt present.
Patrick Cerrera present.
Sky Childress present.
William Coates present.
Maria Garcia present.
All righty, seems like we have most everybody here present for quorum. I'd like to ask if there's anybody that would want to read the mission statement today. Any volunteers? Oh, we just have Cy.
The mission statement is to support the evolving needs of MSU Denver students by advocating in their best interests to enhance the university experience and opportunities.
Thank you so much, Sky. Now, can we go move on? Cy, oh, I'm sorry. He is Cy, my man Cy here. Appreciate it. We're gonna have approval for agenda. If there's any previously that in our previous meeting minutes, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Sky,
I'll motion to approve the agenda for today.
do we have a second?
I will second.
All right, the agenda is approved. We'll move forward with public comment. Do we have any opposition for the approval agenda? No, fantastic. All right, let's move on to public comment, seeing as there's nobody present. Yes, Sky?
That's good.
I also want to put forward a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes, if our presenters could pull it up.
Here we have that is our previous meeting minutes, if everyone can look at the screens. And do we have a motion of approval? Sky?
I guess I wanted to retract that, and I wanted to say that the title of it needs to be changed to meeting minutes instead of a meeting agenda. Other than that, though. So I'll put forward a motion with that change, changing the word agenda to meeting minutes at the top there. I'll put forward that motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any opposition? Fantastic. Now, we'll be moving on for public comment. If there's anyone present from the public, I do see one person. Want to see if they have given an opportunity to speak. They decline. All right. If there anyone else, either online or in person, were to come, would like to welcome them. More than welcome to speak with the allocated time. Moving on forward with our announcements and updates. So we'll begin for staff advisors. If I can, whoever would like to go up first.
Sure. Hello, TSAC. Good afternoon. Few things for you all. Homecoming is around the corner here at MSU Denver. I know it's a thing. We do have it. It's pretty cool. There's a whole week of activities and things not only put on by CMEI, but by other departments on campus. So be on the lookout for that. There is a banner hanging in the stairwell right outside your office that has some of the activities. One in particular I wanted to point to your attention, and this is one of the more student-focused events, is the homecoming event, a drive-in movie featuring the screening of the movie Sinners. So that's going to be happening on October 7th. I believe the time goes from, I think, 5 to 9 p.m. with the movie starting around, I want to say 7 o'clock or so. So there's going to be like a pre-movie gathering, and then there'll be an actual movie. It is an actual drive-in. So if you have a car and you want to drive your car up, you can do that. You can either tune in with your car radio, or you could just listen in from the speakers that will be showing the movie as well. There will be free food and everything. It will be in the Spruce lot You do have to RSVP though. So there is an RSVP that is helping us, or mainly me, help park cars for this. So, and I guess that's a note on that day, October 7th, the spruce lot will be closed. Secondly, the Student Activities Programming Board is beginning their planning for the Roadrunners After Dark second annual concert that we have here. There is a poll on Instagram for folks to complete in terms of who they'd like to see. That poll was created by outreach by the programming board to different students based on genres and who they'd like to see on campus, but also what's feasible for what they can afford. So please take the poll. It's on the Instagram post on the CMEI Instagram page. Not sure how many of you are aware of this. We do have a campus events calendar. It is called Trumba. The campus events calendar is changing. It is changing to a new program called Localist. It is going to be featured again on the MSU Denver website. And so we don't have to discuss this now, but what I was going to say is they're hoping to make the change to this by the end of October. And there is a very good chance that it may get pushed out even further. The nice part about the calendar is that it looks like it's from the 21st century and not the late 1990s. So that's really good for a campus calendar. The other thing is that it has really unique and good functionality, which is a really important aspect and something that students alike have been asking for. If you've ever seen the Trumba calendar, it's a little clunky. It's a little 1997-ish. So to me, I'm glad this change is being made. However, where I'm asking for your input is if you have ideas on event types and potentially event topics or categories. They are looking to build that out. You could just send that directly to me. So feel free to look at Trumba and see what Trumba has. Doesn't have to match Trumba, but I think it's important that students have some say on what kind of event types there are. One I will tell you I'm already advocating for is for student organizations to have their own category. So that way student org events can be featured alone and filtered out on that calendar. So that's that. As a reminder, next week, President Davidson is joining us. So that should be a very fruitful conversation. And then on October 9th, the MSU Denver budget director will be joining us for the first part of the meeting. I believe, Sky, that's what we had said for that, or what you had said for that.
Yeah, just direct response is that he's coming from 5:30 to 6. We have another presenter coming from 5:05 to 5:30.
Perfect. Thank you. And then the last thing is that, and I'll hold this for new business, but I have an update for when you all talk about the appointing representatives to your strategic planning advisory committee. Other than that, I yield.
So much for no updates.
Shut up.
My only update is the anti-hazing training that has been sent out to you all is due next Friday. So one last reminder for you all, please get that completed. I know some of you have shared some issues you've been having, and I think we're all clear, right? Have you tried it? Cool. So if you have any other issues, just let me know. Me, Steven, Tony, and myself are the ones kind of handling the back end of it. So come to any of us and we should be able to fix it. But next Friday is the deadline for the university leadership student folk. So thank you.
Is that the same deadline for like student orgs too, or is it Tuesday?
The same deadline for student orgs. Yes, I believe it is not the same deadline for fraternity sorority life.
September 30th, yeah.
September 30th.
September 30th for student orgs.
September 30th for student orgs. So that is the deadline you have. I apologize if I said next Friday.
Okay. Let's see, Dr. Morales, he's Will.
Just a quick question for Steven. I saw the flyers or the banner for the movie and all. It said CU Denver. Is that if like price wise for students? Like, yeah, I know when they do events, I don't know. You know, we might charge more, they might charge more. I don't know. I'm just trying to clarify that.
Great question. We don't charge for our students, and we're not charging anything for our drive-in movie. I can't speak to if CU is charging their students for this event. I don't think they are. What I will say though is oftentimes our events are open to all three campuses. We definitely allow that. I can't say the same about CU student events. And you may be thinking, well, I saw that you said that there's a CU event. That Sinner screening is happening today, and it's happening in the Tivoli. It's in one of the ballrooms, so it's a little smaller than I would say what we're trying to do with it.
But they have good attendance.
Thank you guys so much. Is there any other questions, Irvi?
I have a question for Armando. I am also part of ULP and TSAC. So do I have to complete just 2 courses or just 1?
You should have been enrolled in just the one. And if you're enrolled in 2, just complete 1 and you're fine.
Okay.
Alrighty. Seeing there's no other updates, I'm gonna move forward with our, oh, we have one more question, actually 2. Ooh. Oh, 1. Sorry.
The name of the new calendar?
Localist. It's not live yet. So we're still using Trumba. Feel free to continue to use Trumba. They're asking all departments, offices, student orgs to post events on Trumba, and they're working on doing some type of integration that those events from Trumba will move to Localist.
Okay.
On that note, Localist also, if you just look it up online, they have a list of other like universities included of companies that use it. So if you want examples of like what possible event categories are or want to see what it actually the physical calendar looks like, you can do so.
Alrighty. Now we're going to begin with our updates from our standing committees. I will proceed. We'll start with our budget and then move forward down the list that's on the behind of everyone's agenda. And if you have no updates, just say no updates.
The budget committee met past Tuesday, and after reviewing all the proposals and making final adjustments, we passed the budget by the majority vote. The vote included the budget chair, the budget vice chair, the chairship, public relations, sustainability chair, and accountability chair. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to go ahead off that, we will be presenting that and through our resolution that will be included in a spreadsheet of what we decided so everyone can see, have a visual representation of the allocations. So we will be presenting that later, so I won't go too in depth about it right now, but just heads up. Other than that, no pending ones. However, we do have, sorry, I wanted to move forward with a sustainability committee with Sky Childress.
Absolutely. A few things. Tomorrow, everyone should have gotten a calendar invite today. Your optional attendance at our multi-institutional meeting tomorrow and planning the Know Your Rights event that we've been talking about, that we had a resolution about a CR1. Feel free to attend. We would love to have you there and get your input there as well. On top of that, I so apologize. I did not have my update doc pulled up. Yeah, go ahead. Or sorry, I'll wait for the.
That's,
Will?
sorry. I spaced out for like 2 seconds. That's the planning stuff, right?
Yeah, that's a Know Your Rights training planning. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Armando. That's the planning phase of the event.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, amazing. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I talk about that every week. We are meeting tomorrow in the Tivoli Senate chambers from 4 to 5. Feel free to be there. The event is going to be October 22nd at 1 p.m. in Tivoli 320. Be there. I will be sending out a poll sometime shortly so we can make sure we staff our table at that event. On to AHA Week and the Rare Sustainable Campus Program. I'm getting a group of student government folks together to plan our participation in AHA Week. I'm hoping to coordinate our participation with CUs and with CCDs. Last year, we held a clothing drive, and I'm hoping that if we do that again or any other participation, we have all 3 student governments working together on it. I'm also going to SACAP tomorrow to ask them how they'd like to participate. And then I'm also working with ASCP. They're feeling the effects of not having their budget increased in the last couple years. I'm meeting with their director, and I'm going to try to get some other folks from other student governments there to meet too, to see what options they have. One of those options would be an increase in the student fee to the ASCP. Obviously, there are other options, and I'll keep everyone posted on what I get info from there. If you'd like to attend the AHA Planning Committee meetings, please reach out to me. I can make sure you're invited to that. And then tomorrow, I believe SACAB is adding me as a member of their sustainability subcommittee. Within their bylaws, they actually appoint outside folks to their subcommittees. Just FYI, I'll make sure to report back from that, but I'll also know our SACAB reps can too. So, and then on the TSAC resource list, me and Susanna have created a resolution for a guideline and procedure regarding a resource list. We are actively seeking other counselors to work on that with us. If you are interested in that, please reach out to me. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Sky. I also wanted to give you the opportunity to talk to Brown, who just came in late, see if there's any updates on her behalf before we move on with our standing committees.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I'm on my way to an event. No, I don't have any updates. The only, I guess, thing, I know on the agenda you all are talking about.
Dr. Brown,
Can you hear me?
Is it all right if you could say like hello?
Uh-oh, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay,
Oh,
apologies.
we can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, I'm on my way to an event, but I just wanted to say that I know that you all are going to be talking about appointing some people to or voting on people to work on the work groups for the university strategic plan. I think it's on the agenda. Stephen can offer perspective on that, just because I want to make sure that we're just being thoughtful and mindful about consistency on who the reps are and maybe identifying, who's interested, because I think those are gonna be really important. And I want to make sure that you all have strong representation on those. So just wanted to offer that, but that's all I really have. I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brown. Moving forward, we're going to go with a Public Relations Committee, seeing as the chair is not present. I'd like to refer to Vice Chair Irby Powell.
For public relations, we have our event coming up, Bring Your Kids to College Day. It is on 12th October. Wait, my bad. Council members who have signed up for the sheet is 6 of them, and we have only 2 majors available for now, which is political science, Emma and Sci, and African studies, Sci. If anyone wants to sign up for that, please do so that early. Second update I have, tell the council members that we are working on, my bad. We're working on the Friday weekly meetings for TSAC office, additional meetings to meet for PR, as we're not able to do our lot of business in the PR meetings. So we have working days in the office. This week it is from Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. in the TSAC office. Third update is council takeover. We would work individually to figure out each person's comfortability, comfort when posting about the council takeover. Yeah, that's all. Sky?
Do we have direct questions from Scott?
I'm just a member of the PR committee. Also want to add to the updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I also wanted to say, just to clarify that our Friday meetings will be working meetings. They will not be business meetings. So that's just for us to get together and do the actual admin tasks and work of the PR committee, not discussing public business, just FYI, but feel free to be there.
Thank you. Sai?
I believe it's a direct question. There was a Bring Your Kids to Work Day for tomorrow that I believe was canceled, or Saturday. Sorry, my fault.
It is not tomorrow.
Or it's not Saturday either, because it was on my
No.
calendar.
No, it is canceled. It is on 4th.
Scott?
Yeah, I just want to say that was a calendar invite for the original date that I saw, and I removed it from everyone's calendars. I think it was yesterday. So yeah, but that was a wrong date.
All righty. Thank you all. Any other direct questions or comments? Okay, moving forward with the accountability committee with our chair, Matthew Rathbun.
I guess want to bring up the from what I've heard, there's been some council members using the executive assistant's email. That I'm not sure even how that password even got out. But that will be limited back to the executive assistant.
Okay. Any other direct questions or comments? Sky?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Emma?
think to clarify Sky's question, like Keegan's personal email, or is there an executive assistant
The-
email that's like executive assistant?
The general TSAC email.
Okay.
Do we have a clarification from executive assistant?
Yeah, let me elaborate on this because it's really confusing. It's not my personal email. It's the only person that should really be sending like stuff in and out from the Student Advocacy Council, like address and inbox is me. Someone else has been in there like setting up meetings and doing some other stuff. So we just want to make sure that we're within those confines. So yeah. Thank you.
Is it direct or you? Sky?
I mean, it's certainly direct. We can, I can go ahead and say that was me. I'm the one that has on that. I got that approval to be on that email. I have
From who?
from, I spoke to Armando about it once and I added it from Tony Aho.
Well, Tony Aho is not any of our advisors nor part of this council, and that is not how it has been utilized over the past like 3-4 years. And it looks like Armando might have something to add too.
Yeah, I don't know how Tony got access to the email because the only owners are myself, I think Barone and Steven, and then we added Keegan in there. So I think just due diligence, just make sure if you want to add calendar invites, just send it to Keegan and they can send it out through the email. Because I personally do not remember giving that access because the only access, and we just spoke with the IT about the 307 calendar, and the only access should be just the three of us for now.
Okay. Yeah, Sky?
Yeah, I just want to say that I was getting access for a different email address for one of the clubs I'm a part of, and it came up in conversation with Tony. Tony told me that she would ask you. I got an email saying it was added. That's why. I believe that from a conversation with Tony, it wasn't just me. It would be all counselors have view access, so we can all see when the emails come in. I had spoken to Tony, and Tony told me that they talked to you. I haven't been emailing students. I have created a calendar invite for the sustainability committee meetings.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll chop it up to just miscommunication. The email I believe they may have been referencing is how do I call this? A cluster listserv that we have for you all that if we type in a certain email, it goes automatically to the 12 of you. That may have been what they meant as terms of everyone should have access, but view access, no, that's just never been practiced because the EA handles things and we just don't want too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen. I will say we run into issues before to where complaints have come through because emails come through and then you don't know who's talking. So we kind of just leave it as one person.
Fantastic. And any other questions? I feel like it'd be better offline discussion. Is there any other updates?
No, at this moment.
Fantastic. All right. Moving over to Chairs Committee. I think we have progressed through our guidelines. I've added my sections today to add some text to that. We are planning on setting up a meeting after this meeting, depending on everyone's when to meet and availability. So I'm excited to move that forward. And I'll leave it up to Scott. Just any other.
Yeah, my similar update is that we're working on our chairship guidelines and procedures and the rules of order. We are hopefully going to have 4 to 5 counselors authoring this. It's going to be very exciting. I hope to be presenting it this upcoming Thursday for the read, and then the week after that for the vote on the chairship guidelines and procedures. So stay tuned.
Okay, moving forward with ad hoc training and transitions committee with Matthew and Will.
So not much more of an update this week. We're still looking at some of the potential training documents to send out and add to the Canvas. Again, if anybody has any odd questions, like please ask us, because then that tells us, A, we can help you answer the question right then and there if we have the answer, and it tells us what we need to create on top of what we're already working on.
Sick. Greg? Derek? Yeah, Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, How does one get membership to this committee? Do you guys meet frequently, or if counselors want to join in on the work, how can they get involved?
Matt?
I'll work with Will to set up the next meeting time and I'll send it out to everybody.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Move forward with our advisory committees and our representatives. Beginning with, I want to add in here, yeah, let's go with faculty and staff senate with Faye Berry.
Nothing from staff senate really, but an update from faculty senate is that I've heard some more about the auto application for graduation. And they're specifically using application now. It has been decided upon. So there are currently 2 options under consideration. There is essentially a 2-term safeguard, and then there is a 1-term option. So the 2-term safeguard is basically if you hit 100% of your requirements but are enrolled in 1 more semester, you will get a notification, but you will not be auto applied. And then the next semester, if you're still showing 100%, then you will be auto applied. In the immediate auto application, it's once you hit 100%, the next full term you will be auto applied. Deferral requests are also a thing that you can do for both of these. You get a notification at 100%, and there is always a petition process for legitimate cases. And then an aid compliance reminder is that once at 100%, only coursework tied to a newly declared program is eligible for aid. Next steps are considering which one of these 2 options we want, and then beginning some of the language and some of the processes for actually doing this for the Workday student implementation that's upcoming.
Wonderful. Anything else, Faye?
I guess I would just say if anyone has any opinions on which one they would prefer, or if they have anything that you would like me to bring back, please let me know, and I will love to do so.
Wonderful. Okay, any other advisory committees? Let's go over to Will.
Well, it's more of a question for
go ahead.
Faye. I don't know if we've read what Matt sent in the group chat, that different faculty, I don't know if Senate's the right word, across different campuses and universities are kind of getting together and trying to, find some kind of alliance with each university. I don't know. Have you heard anything about that in your meetings by any chance?
Nothing along those lines anyway. I'll be sure to keep an ear out and ask any questions if anything comes up.
Awesome. Thank you, Faye.
Oh, that's me. Go ahead, sorry.
We can actually at some point test out the ceiling mics as well. Yeah, that's fair too. So I want to give an update for the University Planning and Budget Advisory Committee. Met last week. I'm still trying to get a little bit adjusted to some of what this committee's focus is. And I'm going to be meeting with them, with one of the people within the committee, to get some background information outside of that meeting time. But I wanted to bring some kind of fun and interesting information to everybody. So we've all talked about how enrollment's been up, so I won't spend too much in those specifics. But some pieces I found interesting is our concurrent enrollment is up 3%. So that is specifically high school students who are also registered with MSU taking classes. So I just want to bring that part up because that's an interesting, I don't know if somebody may want to at some point do advocacy around that, because I know there's a lot of transition programs and stuff too. But just want to bring that up. Another great statistic is the retention rate across the board is almost 70%. We have 9,939 undergraduate students who are full-time, which is about 58% of the total. Part-time is a little over 7,000, and the average credit load is 10.6. And then the other part, I don't know how much you all know because it partially doesn't affect me as a graduate student. But I also found out tuition lock only counts if you're full-time. So yeah, there's nuances to it. Like if you go to part-time, like you could lose your tuition lock, and there's different ways of it being 4 years or 2 years. So yeah, I would just keep an eye on that as individuals and share it out with people. And another interesting piece they talked about was about AI, in particular that we have a contract with Microsoft, so Copilot. Anything we type into Copilot does not track the information that we put in it because we have a contract with them. Whereas like if you are like building out your resume or something using like ChatGPT, they might use some of that information in their learning model. But with Copilot and the contract, we have that extra piece that they will not do that. And that is all I have for now.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Is there any direct questions or comments? All righty, gonna move forward with student code of conduct. Sorry, I skipped a couple of people. Student Affairs Board. I don't think, have you guys have any meetings? I don't believe so. Student travel with Irvi Paul. Irvi is not here, so we'll skip on to University Grade Review of Patrick Severa and Cyrus Holt. We have no updates. Skimming through this. Student Code of Conduct Review of Maria Garcia and Sky Say Childress. Maria?
I wanted to say that we are getting connected for our first meeting. We haven't got a time yet, but we are connected to all of the right people. That's the only update so far.
Awesome. Moving forward with Period Equity Project. It seems like both our representatives are not present today. Moving forward, yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, Matthew.
I'll clarify, I'm not a direct member, but I can give some clarity on some updates. We did tabling last week and today, or yesterday and today, and next week we're also doing tabling. So again, if you can join us, please do. We're trying to do our survey so we can get more feedback from students on how they feel like this project should be. And it doesn't matter if you're male, female, like you can still fill out the survey because they want to collect more and more data so they can advocate for better funding from like AHEC and stuff as well, so we can make this project even bigger. We're still waiting on updates from SACAB on the funding from SACAB for this project. It sounds like Alyssa did not, who is the ex officio for AHEC, did not fill out the proper forms. And so now there's having to go back to last fiscal year to get that out is about the point I'm at. And I'll still follow up with it. And I hope our SACAB reps are also following up on this in their capacities. And it sounds like we've been making progress on the TSAC side to get the funding that we promised them out.
And I see a hand up for a direct response.
Yeah, just confirming, I've also been trying to follow up with Alyssa again about this and get a little bit more clarification, and still have not received a response on that. So, yeah.
Thank you, Rowan. Any other questions or comments? All right, move forward with Typically Reimagined Steering Committee, me and Cyrus. I can say that just no real changes from our last meeting. We did, however, we have already sent out like a survey so we can put our input. We do plan on meeting in person on Tuesday on October 21st. So right now we are just putting in our votes to see our select our preferred time. I'll hand it off to Sky. I mean, Sai.
Just point of clarification. I will not be in attendance in that meeting, so if anyone would like to be sent as a representative on my behalf, more than welcome. But we do have Patrick going, so just contact me.
Thank you. Moving forward, we have our interagency planning with Matt and Faye Berry. Faye?
No updates. We don't even have our next meeting scheduled, so.
Alrighty. Space analysis, William Coates.
Same thing. No updates.
Okay. Yes, Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, we, if you are.
Policy, University Policy Advisory. Yeah, we can go over again with University Policy Advisory with Sky.
I don't have an update, but the other one might. Sorry.
Is there any updates on the Shared Governance Council?
Yes. So we met on Tuesday, and that meeting we just talked about transitioning from watermark to interfolio, which is it's used for retention for faculty. Mostly faculty and staff use that, not students, and they're working on transitioning. Well, they're working on deciding if they should stay with watermark or transition to interfolio. And ultimately, we decided that we recommend others, such as faculty, to be involved in making a decision like this because they are the ones that are going to be impacted if we make a decision. So we invited staff for their opinions before making any final decisions. And that's about it. Thank you.
Cool. Do we have anything for Campus Safety Center steering with Matt?
I'm not 100% sure if we're even going to directly have another meeting since they broke ground. So I haven't had another meeting invite yet on that topic.
Alrighty. I did want to give, yeah, Sky.
Yeah, on the Campus Safety Center, I just have one thing. At the groundbreaking ceremony of the Campus Safety Center, the executive director of Colorado Higher Ed, her name is Angie. I can't say her last name for the life of me. I think it's Paccioni. Paccioni, I said it right. Had said something during that groundbreaking that did not sit right with me. She had said that she realized in the spring of 2024 how badly this campus needed a new police center. And that being like a guiding question for the reason to have a campus safety center did not sit right with me. I just wanted to let counselors know that was said at the groundbreaking.
What part of that bother you? Because I might be able to give at least some context from the meeting that I was a part of. Not saying it would justify what you said, but maybe context.
Yeah, certainly. Context would be that in the spring of 2024, the ACPD arrested 81 peaceful protesters and multiple mass arrests. And that is what Angie Paccioni was referring to.
Yeah, because part of that meeting, they did go over the fact part of the safety building, they're creating a private lot for the police, so they can also park their private vehicles back there. They can park squad cars. But yeah, they did have a piece of the building that was specifically built for like a holding bay or something. I'd have to look more directly at the plans again for the exact language, but it was for like bigger like transport vehicles as well. So again, I'm not saying that justifies what they said. That was just context from the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you for that context.
Alrighty. I want to see, we're going to move over into our open floor announcements. All right, sorry, y'all. Did not see it written in here, so I just didn't. Can we move forward also with our Safe Cab representatives and following our Board of Trustees as well as updates?
Currently no updates from SACAP.
Sai?
Our last meeting, we pretty much just went over our area financials with Tristy Hillstad. Hillstad? Yeah. There's 4 buckets that they have funds. It's general funds, student bond fund, parking, and then general auxiliaries. We got a deep dive. I have the slides. I am able to share them with the council if that's something you were open to, but pretty much it. We have a meeting tomorrow, and yeah. Thank you.
All right. Move forward with our Student Board of Trustees. Our trustee.
Thank you. I don't have any updates. Our next meeting isn't until January. I have a retreat with them in November, but no updates.
Thank you so much. All right. I will now motion for, well, not motion, but I'll move forward for open floor. You received the opportunity for any individuals wants to speak or any questions or any deep dive into any of the updates we currently had. Faye?
I am working on getting a meeting set up between TSAC, Faculty Senate, and Staff Senate to talk about some of the Roadrunner runaround stuff. That is one of our goals and priorities for this semester or this academic year. So if anyone wants to be involved in that process, let me know. I will also be coming forward once a meeting time is decided to see if anyone else wants to join me.
Sky?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, for tuition lock, you had heard that information from Upback. Do you know who in Upback had told you that? The information about tuition lock?
Matthew?
Don't fully remember who said it, but I also double checked it on the university's website that describes tuition lock.
Okay. I also wanted to add an invite to the council to submit questions for Andrew Rauch. Is that how you say his last name? I'm just so bad with last names apparently today. Andrew Rauch, the executive budget director, he's coming in 2 weeks. We talked about that, but he would love some questions ahead of time. And one of those, I want to go ahead and tell Stephen now, I would really love to ask him about tuition lock, just to give us like an overview of it so he can be prepped for that. Then I did have one more open for update for me. Okay, I guess announcement or question. So for last year's TSAC fiscal year funding, I wanted to ask Armando if there is any update on that. It's just, this was pertinent because we are approving a budget today, so I just wanted to hear from you about
What do you?
last year's fiscal year funding on the period equity project. Do we have any update on how that works?
Oh, the purchase.
Yeah, the purchase.
I'm working with Margarita because I don't want to create another account if the health center already has an account.
Yeah.
So I'm working with them to just purchase it. But the number I gave y'all last time with the estimate of the products, it was about 1462. I can give you another estimate in just a second. But that does not include tax or shipping. But it looks like if we do, the amount subtotal was like 1460 something. I'm assuming with tax and shipping, it will even us out at that 1500.
Okay, awesome. And then I would ask that our budget chairs clarify that when we do read the amendment to find out where that's currently in our budget.
Will?
Just real quick, I don't want to put our EA on the spot, to be honest, but I was thinking we allot a time for everyone to speak, and I was just thinking through the years we've never really allotted anything for the EA, so they're still, I believe, a member of the student government. I think they should be, if they choose to, have a little slot time to get house updates or just anything really that bothers the EA or anything really. I think it's worth thinking about, right? Giving them that space as well.
All good, Sky?
Yeah, on that point, I think the perfect slot for them on the agenda would be right there with staff advisor updates. I think we can just rename that to SGTSAC staff updates. I guess.
It's just a
just a thought. The chairs are the ones that make the agenda on that. So I just want to ask, is there any opposition to us renaming staff advisor updates to SUT Psych staff updates? That way we can include Keegan in it.
What if I would also like to propose we just put a comma so it could be staff and advisors.
Wait, just
yeah, we open up. How's everyone feel? Sounds good. Like the comma or Sky? Yeah. Yeah, just to add a comma on section 3A of the announcements and updates, staff, comma, advisors. Sky?
Just is it okay if we do staff and like an ampersand advisors? I just don't like just a comma between two things with no. Okay, staff and advisors would be really cool to me.
Will?
I know I proposed this, but again, it's important to hear from the EA, I believe, not just like, hey, this is for you now. What do you think? Yeah.
So there definitely are some things I would like to say at points in time. I think it would be good to kind of have that period because you guys are like really bad at communicating with me. I'm going to be honest. So I think if we have a little bit of time in person for me to ask all the questions I have for all of you and clear some stuff up, that would be very helpful on everyone's behalf. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Also want to ask is like the agenda, if we could just add onto the back here, if we could add SACAB and our student board trustees there, that way we can just read it off there. We could just add those two on the bottom. Esca?
I just want to say, because I was one of the folks that had made this. The reason I didn't put SACAB under the committees section is because SACAB and student trustee are listed as roles under the members. I invite SACAB and student trustee to give their updates during the advisory committees. I'd be happy to add the language on the bottom there if that's something that folks want. But I do think it's a little duplicative to have SACAB in two places. The back of the agenda is more so to inform people what composes TSAC more so than reading off of it during the meeting. So I wouldn't want SACAB or student trustee to feel like they can't give their update during the advisory committee section. Yeah, but I'm happy to add that if that's something that folks want. I just want to say that's the reason I did it.
Gotcha. Direct response. No, I just think it's everybody should be, it says M representative, so we can just add it. We're regardless standing committee, advisory committee, as long as we could just have them there. If individuals are new to their meetings and they can look on the back here, they can see that those are places that we send our representatives to as well. So that's my opinion on that. Armando.
I just wanted to advise or advice here. I recognize the change and I understand the purpose of the change. I think as our agendas get longer, I would recommend probably going back to the old structure of how the back was broken out, where name, title, email, and all the positions were listed per person just to save some space, especially as we are adding things to the agenda. I don't want this to have to be a full page, an extra page that gets printed out X, Y, and Z. Just because it looks like a lot.
Direct response, Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that the chairs and the executive assistant work on this upcoming week when we meet and not necessarily have to discuss this in here. I would love, I will take that input and put it into it, absolutely. But I don't think we need like a lengthy discussion on it. So I just want to love ideas. I don't want to like respond and go back and forth. So.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's why we have the open floor, so we can maybe talk about it. Yeah, Keegan.
Hi. So Scott, you mentioned me meeting with the chairs. I've reached out multiple times to try to set up that meeting window, and I haven't really gotten a response. Is there like an ideal time for that? Just because like I don't know, because like we've been talking about this for a while and like there's no like definitive time block for that yet.
From on my end, I haven't really gotten any reach out for that. However, for me, I'll be setting in with my office hours. So anytime I'm office hours, and this goes to everybody and everyone who doesn't know me. Please just like, sometimes I either be working or, but those are my times that like any clarifications or just anything bugging you, or you want something to conversate or delegate, or we want to work something together. Please don't hesitate to tap on my shoulder, reach out to me. I'm always happy to help with the time available. Sky?
Yeah, I just want to say I haven't gotten any emails or Teams chats or anything communication wise. I'm trying to set up a meeting with you for that. I do also want to say that I had expected to meet with you yesterday between 4 and 5, but you weren't in the office. I believe you had to leave early. And I imagine that will be the time that we would create the agenda and have it sent out, because that's the time we have to, because it closes at 4 and is due by sunshine laws at 5. So I would imagine every week there is that set time from 4 to 5 that we could work on it together. As far as like planning things, that's like an entire hour. We could likely this upcoming week plan those things together. That's a perfect set time if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's all right with me. I'm just confused at what you mean about planning, because from my understanding, the agenda is still in the responsibility of the co-chairs, so I'm a bit confused on.
I would like to say that this feels like it's a little bit going into a different direction. If I feel like this could be a better offline conversation rather than the back and forth here, so we can move forward with our business.
Thank you.
All right. Any other open floor announcements? William Coates.
Yes, real quick. Not the accountability chair, but the office hours, I guess, pull it up right here. Not everyone's filled it out. So people who haven't, please fill it out. If you have 2 minutes, a few minutes, thank you. Right now, whenever, thank you.
Let's do this quick. Emma?
I just wanted to say, yeah, that Keegan created a really lovely template for us, and that'll be helpful for all of us, so that, like Patrick was mentioning earlier, like, oh, meet me with my office hours. Well, we don't know when your office hours are, so if you could fill out that sheet so it's all consistent, that'd be great. That's putting you on blast, but.
Yes, I am a college student. I like to do things last minute. Sky?
I also just wanted to say that we should also keep in mind of the 48-hour notice requirement for missing a meeting. Or I'm not sure requirement or suggestion, but that sort of side of things for missing meetings, missing events that you were signed up for, things like that. Just FYI, I mean, that's an accountability purview, certainly, but just don't forget 48-hour notice is what we should be giving if you're going to miss a meeting.
Alrighty, I'd like to move forward and hand it off to Sky for our new business.
Amazing. Okay, we'll start. First item on new business is going to be review and discuss TSAC goals tracking sheet over with Emma Fox.
Hello. Thank you for pulling that up. So kind of my mission with the accountability committee or by myself, this was kind of my goal. Relating back to the discussion we had last week, discussing wanting to move forward with our goals and making sure these meetings are productive and our advocacy work is productive. I know it's a lot to look at. I created this goals tracking sheet kind of to run this, or a portion a little bit more like a strategic planning. So, because I think we have some really great ideas we discuss in this room, but there's not a ton of follow-up, is what I've seen, is that we lose a bit of traction, and just making sure that, especially goals that carry year to year, a lot of these might not get done this year, and that's okay, but next year's council can use this. So this is kind of a living document that can work beyond us, and a lot of us mentioned wanting to leave a legacy here, and I think this would be a good place to start discussing it. You can all see it. I'm going to use the first goal as an example. I really wanted I really liked what Rowan's goal to get SACAB a vote on the ABOD. I think that's very important. So I just wanted to put that goal as a main goal for TSAC, something we want to accomplish and continue working on. And then I have the people spearheading that. So, Rowan is obviously part of SACAB, working with SACAB, and then hopefully the PR committee would be invested in that. Susanna mentioned that last week. So anybody that kind of jumps on board with that. And then having the status, so whatever happened last in our, maybe we use this during meetings. That would be kind of my end goal, is to kind of, as we're giving updates, like if we have a deadline, like check in on the deadline. I don't know, that's kind of a larger goal, but and then also next steps. So instead of just being like, hope we get back to this, like good luck, we have some concrete next steps and a next deadline to meet those next steps, and then a target end line for that goal to be completed. Obviously, this is meant to be living and it can be updated. The net deadline might not always be met, but it also helps the accountability committee if somebody's really dropping the ball on meeting their goal and pushing back their deadline, 3-4 times. We can be like, hey, are you okay? Is your workload good? Can we help you with this? Do you need more work? So I just wanted to get counselor feedback and see if anybody is interested in this.
Oh, we'll go to Stephen first for a change.
Thanks, Guy. First of all, great work on this. This is excellent. I don't want to speak for Armando, but I don't think we've had anything this detailed. So nice work. 1, 2, I think it would be really good with your all support on this to put this on the website, because this could be something that students can access very easily. The third thing I would add too, as you all, or I guess Emma, as you are keeping track of different things or working with the council to keep track of things, I would encourage you to look at other things to put on here. So we have our goals, right? But also think about how you're accomplishing them. So I'm thinking student outreach and engagement by community-led events, or even a holistic approach to student advocacy. You could also put on there that TSAC held the first peer equity tabling as well. So just various things to consider as you all accomplish things that aren't just fully outright. So great work.
As a response, sorry.
It's a direct response.
As a response to that, I intend for this to eventually, once we complete a goal, I don't have all the information because I worked on this pretty much alone. But yeah, like holding the period equity tabling, like if we complete something, I hope to have like a completed kind of section at the bottom that we can like send it to. I just don't remember the Excel commands today. Somebody can help me with that. And then we can also see like what we've done, and that would just feel really empowering for us.
Let's go to Will.
So it could be like the next sheet instead of like the same sheet or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go to Patrick next.
Yeah, I want to echo that. I think this will give us a lot of like really good framework also, like to not just on our events, but like just like you said right there, goal tracking. And just to go bounce on what Steven said, as this is honestly something that if someone who has been introduced and is looking for something interesting, you're curious about student government, they can see here what we're looking for, our goals, our actions, and how that is looking. I feel this not only gives us accountability, but also allows us to see how we can framework our ideas and actually get them to accomplish target deadline. I think that's something that we've probably been missing on some things, but I definitely think that that'll help us out in the future to be more productive. I think this is a great thing, and yeah, good job.
And then Rowan.
Hi. First of all, thank you for your initiative in creating this. I just wanted to clarify something. I was wondering where you're getting that October 2nd deadline on for this, because you and I have never actually discussed this. So I'm wondering why you're setting a deadline for it.
No, this was just an example. I wanted to get that initiative going. Like, I want people obviously to give input. I just wanted to give a completed example of like, truly just like an example, and we'll fill this out like individually meeting and working on it. But I just wanted to give one complete line that looks semi-decent.
Okay, wonderful. As long as this is just an example.
Yes.
Just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Will.
Thank you for this amazing work. It's actually getting me thinking as to where this goal tracking would live under, like committee wise. I'm not sure if the Constitution is very specific as to any type of goal tracking, and so I want to refer that, see what Matt has to say about that.
Matt.
And thank you, Emma, for doing this. And I know you did a lot of this by yourself at this point. I would love to, I want this to be part of like the accountability committee because this is an excellent way for us to hold counselors accountable. Because to me, like the target deadline, for instance, is more of like when we're going to check in to see like how things are going. And it's not always going to be like, if you're not meeting, it's a counselor's fault. Maybe the project is not sustainable or not obtainable. And then we just have that conversation to see where to go from there.
Okay, wonderful. Any more on this, Emma?
Yeah, thank you guys for your support. I'm so glad like this is something that you're all interested in, and I think it'll really help advance our student advocacy and being transparent with students too about what we're working on and can help draw people to be invested in TSAC. I guess I just wanted to open up additional conversation since you seem majority on board. Whether this is something we want to check in maybe during meetings, obviously that's a little aggressive to just jump into that, or if that's something you want to, if it falls under me, if that's something that you want to find me individually. But I would like to use it, and sounds like everybody's a little on board. I just want to make sure it's productive, and if anybody has ideas, I'd love to hear that.
Wonderful. I'm going to add myself to the stack before I move on to everybody else too. I just want to say thank you for this. Absolutely. I also wanted to say I really think this would be a really good document for individual counselors to like work on together asynchronously and like drop their things in and then track sort of their own progress. These people spearheading, you know, tracking their progress for it, and allowing the accountability committee to sort of watch that and just see about those deadlines like you're talking about. And then I'll see hints. Let's go to Patrick first.
Yeah, I think my perspective, I think we could probably use this in accountability updates. Maybe like what if you check on it and there's noticeable changes or you know there's a lot of changes, we can definitely pull this up and discuss it during then. I feel like that'd be not only just showing that like you know we have issues, but also we have a lot of promising things that can go in. Maybe we could see how it'd also be able to open other counselors to see like, hey, you know, you have a problem with status right now. Maybe we could do this. This could be next steps if you weren't aware. We can talk with this. I think it opens up the conversation for everybody.
I'll see hands. Let's go to Will.
So a few things. This could be like something the accountability committee or whoever tests out for the semester, see, you know, theory versus practice, right? And see if sounds amazing, but I'd love to see it in practice more than anything. And then from there, maybe create a structure for this to live in accountability committee, procedures and guidelines or whatever, right? But yeah, those are my 2 cents.
And then we'll go to Matt. That's the word I was trying to think.
Yeah, I want to work with Emma, and if she's willing to do that, I would like to follow up with like Will's idea of getting it more into like for now have it kind of that just internal document, but actually create the structure for it within our guidelines procedures, because this is something that we've been missing for years.
Wonderful. I also wanted to say that if this is also being used as a PR tool, go on our website to show our students what we're doing and what our progress is on it. I'd also love to see PR committee involved, just from that side of things. Stephen.
Yeah, it's nothing that hasn't already been said, but I think this will help when folks go to larger meetings. Let's say someone is presenting or there's a meeting with President Davidson or the Board of Trustees or President's Cabinet. This is be a great thing to refer to in terms of progress. The other thing I will share too is TSAC, and I was telling Armando this, TSAC also has to present to the Student Affairs Board for their annual budget. One of the things that I will share is that it is really important for TSAC to show and distinguish what they're accomplishing. And that's a great way to justify increases in funding, something that TSAC has not received in a while. We'll say that. So this is a good way and display of accomplishments to say, you do have a student government here, TSAC is here. So I yield.
Amazing. Any last things, Emma?
As my last point, I would highly encourage and maybe even ask that each of you, if you have projects or just even if you don't have a project and you want to get involved in something, I could only build this out based on what I know, and I know there's projects going on that I don't know about. Like I found out like Will and Matt are working on some stuff and people are working on things that I don't know about. If you could just meet with me so I can at least start filling out this with your goals and we can start setting those realistic deadlines and things like that, that would be really awesome of you guys.
Matt?
I'll make this really quick because the rest of it could probably be offline, but I think to make sure it's not all falling on you, I think we might be able to talk about like how we can introduce that to like our check-ins and stuff too. But we can talk about that offline, not to.
Okay, wonderful. Let's move on to TSAC involvement in Dia de los Muertos with Armando Rico.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Nettie and Sonia Falcon are co-chairs of Dia de los Muertos this year, and they are looking for TSAC involvement and trying to see how TSAC wants to participate, if they do want to participate. I apologize. First, I will open up the floor to anyone on the council kind of looking at PR if TSAC is looking to get involved. They have sent over their budget sheet, and that's kind of like what committees and involvement looks like here as MSU Denver. If you're on the committee, you're kind of expected to participate and in some way fund-wise. And I can provide the budget sheet. I will provide that through the Teams chat just so it's not in the meeting and we don't have to go through every single figure. But if you are looking to get involved, I will say please get with me sooner than later. They have been asking about what student involvement looks like and going from there. But Dia de los Muertos is going to be on October 29th from, I believe it is an all-day type of an event. If you have never been to Dia de los Muertos, I can explain it a little bit more actually. Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of, it's called Day of the Dead, celebrated popularly across Mexican culture, to where you kind of just honor your ancestors and honor your relatives and those figures that you believe in that have passed on. If I am in any way incorrect, please do correct me. It is not my specific culture, so I don't know too much. But the event is October 29th, and I can get you the time right now. It's looking like it will be 9 to 2. Typically, we have campus partners come up and participate with lectures and presentations, performances, different things like that. I do know they are looking to have some folks come in and just have different conversations around the space. Organizations and student orgs are allowed to participate by way of tabling, but at this table, they will be creating altars, which is common for those where you create an altar to honor those ancestors or honor those folks how you want to honor them. So if TSAC wants to participate in creating an alternate table, it's almost another opportunity for you to get involved as well.
Awesome. I want to say I would really like to invite either you or if someone from this planning committee, I don't know if that's you, but wants to come to our PR meeting either this month, hopefully as soon as possible, because this is a very quick turnaround, so that we can game plan with you. I would invite our PR chairs to add that to the agenda. So I would want to check with Irvi because that's the only one that's here at the moment on that.
Can you please repeat?
Yes, would you be comfortable, well, I guess pending Armando's availability, adding Armando to our Monday PR meeting agenda for a Day of the Dead?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you send me a calendar invite because we do have our committee meetings for Muertos on Mondays from 1 to 2.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Also, I'll also tell you now it's from 9:30 to 10:50 just to check your calendar too. Okay, and then I'll see hands for this point if somebody has any. Okay, seeing none, thank you so much, Armando. We'll move on. I'm going to pass the duties of the chair on to William Coates for this new business item C, because both chairs are authors of this resolution.
Alrighty, thank you, Scott. Then let's move on to this. Where is it? All right, resolution to allocate a budget for FY26. Yes, Pat. Yeah, of course. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, sir. I haven't read a budget in so long. I have a resolution so long. I just need to let it out.
Alrighty. I believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel so much empowerment now. So this is for congrats. So this is for a resolution to allocate a budget for fiscal year 2026, authored by Irving Powell, Patrick Savetta. Thank you guys so much. Sky Say Childress. Abstract. MSU Denver Student Government, the Student Advocacy Council, SGTSAC, allocates its budget to an assortment of internal funds so that SGTSAC's budget may be organized to be used for the betterment of the Metropolitan State University of Denver's student body. Whereas it has been more than 3 weeks since the standing committees of SGTSAC have been meeting, and it is time for the SGTSAC to pass a budget proposal. Whereas the members of the budget committee have drafted proposals for amounts to allocate to the various SGTSAC funds, and the budget committee has thoroughly analyzed the budget proposals, ensuring each proposal aligns with the mission and goals of SGTSAC. Whereas the student budget committee members have consulted with relevant stakeholders regarding this budget proposal to address questions and concerns to seek their input. Whereas the budget committee has made adjustments to this proposal and passed that this budget may be a majority vote and is presenting this resolution to the council for approval of the fiscal year 2026 budget. Whereas the SGTSAC councilors are invited to present amendments to this proposal. These amendments should be clear and well documented and must attain the support of a majority of councilors before being presented. Whereas, once discussion on this proposal is concluded, this budget would need to be approved by a 2/3 majority vote of SGTSAC. Whereas, for the purpose of this resolution, fund manager is intended to have the same meaning as steward referenced in budget committee guidelines and procedures, section 8.2, standing committee chair's responsibility. This term fund manager could be clarified by a future resolution or amendment. Therefore, be it resolved. These funds are created and allocated by SGTSAC for fiscal year 2026, beginning with Sustainability Committee Fund, the Green Funding Purchasing Fund enumerated, and the SGTSAC Constitution is allocated $8,000 to further the mission of the Sustainability Committee and furtherance of the mission of the SGTSAC. The fund is also known as the Sustainability Committee Fund. B, the fund manager is the Sustainability Committee Chair. 2, Student Organization Allocations Fund. The Student Organization Allocation Fund, enumerated in the SGTSAC Constitution, is allocated $15,000 for the purpose and furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is the budget committee itself. Number 3, Public Relations Committee Fund. The Public Relations Fund is created and allocated $19,500 to further the mission of the Public Relations Committee and furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is the Public Relations Committee Chair. 4, Budget Committee Small Allocations Fund. The Budget Committee Small Allocations Funds enumerated in SGTSAC Constitution is allocated $0. The fund manager of the Budget Committee Chair is the Budget Committee Chair. Internal Office Fund. The Internal Office Fund is created and allocated $3,750 to provide necessary supplies to create the SGTSAC office and to allow SGTSAC counselors and student employees to operate effectively in furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is the Budget Committee Chair. 6, Accountability Committee Fund. The Accountability Committee Fund is created and allocated $500 to further the mission of the Accountability Committee and furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is the Accountability Committee Chair. 7, Elections Fund. The Elections Fund is created and allocated $5,000 to provide for elections-related expenses other than compensation of staff and in furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is the Budget Committee. 8, Rainy Day Fund. The Rainy Day Fund, enumerated in the SGTSAC Constitution, is allocated $3,760.25 for the purpose of furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is a Budget Committee. Student Staff Compensation Fund. The Student Staff Compensation Fund is allocated $17,500 to provide compensation of the SGTSAC Elections Manager and the SGTSAC Executive Assistant in furtherance of the mission of SGTSAC. The fund manager is a Budget Committee. 10, Counselor Stipend Fund. The council stipend fund is created to track the leadership stipends the SGTSAC councilors receive for participation in the council. The fund manager is the budget committee. And number 11, unallocated fund. The unallocated fund is created to keep track of any funds not allocated to specific purpose and are intended to be allocated to at a future date. The unallocated fund is dedicated to the mission of SGTSAC. The original intention of the budget committee is to save this for future funds dedicated to any delegate program or internal leadership training fund. The fund manager for unallocated fund is SGTSAC as a whole. Finally, be it resolved, the following is visual representation of above and also link budget spreadsheet fiscal year 2026.
Righty. I'm going to, good job. Thank you. Thank you for that good work. I will now be opening up the floor to any comments, questions, concerns, anything. Please, Matt. Mike. Thank you.
No, it's Matt.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I want to offer a friendly amendment to modify the accounts for elections and the counselor stipend accounts to change the fund managers to the TSAC advisors.
Righty. Yes, Pat.
Was that a friendly amendment?
Yes.
I second that.
Faye, did you have a direct comment or before I?
I was just going to say that it is up to the authors of the document to decide if it's going to be friendly, and technically it's a proposed motion.
Matt, direct.
No, that's actually not true. When a friendly amendment is proposed, it goes to the council. It does not necessarily go to the authors of said bill. So it'd still be up to a vote for the council. And it was a motion, and I believe it was seconded.
Alrighty, well, let me.
Point of order.
Yes.
I just want to say that Faye is correct in typical rules of order. A friendly amendment, the author gets to say, yes, add it to it. However, that's not historically been the precedent within TSAC. We have to have our resolutions have 24 hours notice to the council. And so the council has to vote to change it from that original language that was given notice. And that's the reason we do that. Just, I wanted to let you know that, like, in most rules of order, that is correct.
Thank you for that clarification. Alrighty, since it's been, the motion's been seconded, now we motion for the discussion, or I mean, we open up to discussion, excuse me. Yes, Sky.
Yeah, I think what we're getting into is a little bit of semantics. In this resolution, the word fund manager is defined with the same meaning as the word steward from within the budget committee guidelines and procedures. Essentially is saying that a person or a group has to be a steward of that fund. I would like for the budget committee to be the steward of the fund for the elections fund and for the student staff compensation fund. And when I say steward, I mean ensuring that that fund is spent towards our mission and spent wisely. While I do completely understand that it is the advisors who say, hey, Keegan, work this many hours this week, and they're actually spending that money. I would love to see some oversight from the budget committee into that this year. And the reason why I feel this is important is just to ensure that we are staying within our allocated budget of that 17.5, and the budget committee gets to oversee that. And that's why I want them to be the stewards of those funds. And that's why it says them fund managers as opposed to the advisors. While they will absolutely have a hand in managing those funds, I want to see the stewards and the managers of those funds be the budget committee, not the advisors.
Alrighty. Did you still have a hand, Pat? Okay, go for it.
Matt, could you just to make sure that we're on the same page, could you reiterate your friendly amendment?
Yeah, so I want to modify the, yeah, thank you. The elections fund and the student staff compensation fund to be the fund managers being the advisors. And to Sky's point of having oversight and control from the budget committee, any fund manager would have to give any reports of what was spent to the budget committee. So even though they would be the stewards, fund managers, what have you, I think it makes more sense under the advisors.
Yes, guys, that a direct
It
comment.
is. I just want to say that we're passing this under the current procedures and guidelines of the Budget Committee, which are constitutional language. And in that language, it refers to fund managers. I don't have the exact quote, I apologize, but it refers to fund managers having the responsibility to ensure that their funds are spent wisely or spent. There's language in there about like essentially decision making on that as opposed to just like under the supervision of the Budget Committee. And so I want to ensure that the decision making is kept within the elected student leaders of where money is being spent, not the university employees. I value their insight and they're the ones that swipe the card, but I want the decision making, the management of that to be students.
Pat and then Armando.
Yeah, so I would like to think I do agree. I mean, we have a lot of other committees here. That's also our fund managers are the budget committee itself. So they have to direct report within the budget committee. And just going previous how last year we did have our advisors who were, like you said, they're the ones doing the purchases. However, I don't think as far as staff and student staff compensation, I feel like that's something that we could definitely leave them. I would like to pose a question of an elections fund, if that's something that we really want to be involved with, even though it's really much more of a staff designated operation and purpose, and they're the ones that really operate that on its own. I feel like, keep in mind what Matt said, that these are stewards or under the budget guidelines, they're the stewards, which here we mentioned fund managers. But they do report directly to the budget committee, which would be to all the standing committee chairs.
Armando, was your hand for a direct comment? I just want to keep the order here. Okay, then, Faye, if it's direct comments, please keep your hands up. Is it a direct comment? Faye?
This is a comment that I'm, I suppose, motioning to ask the question to the council. As far as Patrick's point goes, that's kind of a next topic and a different amendment to have discussions. So I was motioning to end discussion to vote on this specific motion for this amendment.
Second.
Hey,
Can I discuss about that motion?
is it a point of order or
No,
more
it's
of a
just
discussion?
on the motion before the council, which is whether or not we should vote.
Sure. Scott.
Yes, I think we shouldn't vote on this yet. I think that there is better language than just changing the word budget committee to advisors. And so I think we should not vote on this yet.
The motion has been seconded, so I will respect that.
Can I clarify rules of procedure?
I mean, the motion has been seconded. I'm gonna continue with that motion. Alrighty, so Faye, if you please repeat your.
So the motion was to vote, to move to the vote on the specific amendment that Matt had posed. This is not a vote on the motion to amend. This is a vote to move to that vote and end the discussion.
Okay. Alrighty, we're gonna now enter into that vote to end the discussion to move towards Matt's friendly amendment. Alrighty, we're gonna do roll call and we're gonna start with Emma and then we're gonna go all the way down. Alrighty, so Emma Fox.
I'm confused on what I'm voting on. I'm just voting to end the discussion.
Yes, to move to Matt's friendly amendment.
No, no.
Nay?
Nay.
Irvi?
Aye.
Rowan?
No.
Faye?
Aye.
Matt?
Aye.
Cyrus?
Nay.
Pat?
Aye.
Sky?
No.
I'm gonna vote aye.
Aye.
So what is that? Let's see.
No, I, no, I, no. So
The motion has passed 6-4 already, so. I believe, yes, Faye.
I was going to ask for Matt to restate his
motion?
motion that is now being voted on.
Yes, Matt, would you kindly restate your motion, please?
My friendly amendment is to change the language under elections fund. Point B, the fund manager is the budget committee to the advisors, as well as the student staff compensation fund.
Alrighty, do we have a second for that?
Second that.
It was already seconded. That was just
Oh.
restatement.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Alrighty, since it's been seconded, we will go ahead with the vote for that friendly amendment from Matt. Is everyone clear on the friendly amendment, the language?
I clear.
Yes? Okay, just making sure. Alrighty, Emma Fox.
No.
Alrighty, Irvi,
Aye.
Rowan,
No.
Faye,
No.
Matt,
Aye.
Cyrus.
Abstain.
Okay. Pat.
Yes.
Okay, Sky.
No.
I'm going to vote A. Yes. Maria.
Yes.
5-4 passes.
I'll let you. Yep.
5-4 motion.
I'm gonna let the EA.
Okay.
No.
Aye.
No.
No.
Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you, though.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. EA, please verify for that vote for me, please. For the council, not just for me.
All right. So 5 in favor, 4 in opposition, 1 abstained.
So that motion,
Passes.
yes, thank you. So that motion does pass. Alrighty. Let's add that language in there, please. Okay, thank you. Then we shall, yes, Guy.
Sorry, I have something, but I'm not ready to formulate it yet, so more discussion.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, since that has passed, I believe.
Just open that.
Yeah. We'll open up the discussion again for this resolution. Yes, awesome. Alrighty. Is there any questions, concerns, or anything about this to further discussion? Anyone? Yes, Pat.
I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on how we're on number 11 of that section.
Could we please, thank you,
Yeah,
before.
so if you guys can see, it says unallocated fund. So that is right now we decided due to given new information and updates about how the Leadership Development Fund is going to be orientated through the ZMI, likewise through ours, and also redefining certain aspects that we have seen privy to last year's and previous iterations. So that's also, we also wanted to make sure that given how we were talking about our delegate system and how we performed that last year, rather than have a reallocation like we did last year, we wanted to just already have that ready to go. So that way, once, it could be a simple process that we could formulate once we have a final number on both of those.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat. Any other questions, concerns? Yes, Sky.
Yeah, I wanted to say the current language under the elections and under 10 with the counselor, 9 with the students and compensation fund now says the fund manager is the advisors. I want to offer an amendment that says the fund manager is the advisors, period, space, any increase in these funds would need to use the usual budget amendment process.
All righty, do we?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a second, all righty. I want to be respectful of hands. Faye, was there a direct?
Unrelated
comment?
to this.
Okay, awesome, all right, then we will open up to that. Any discussion? Yes, for that, for what just, yeah. Yes, Emma.
I think that's a great compromise. It keeps the rules very, very clear. That's what I wanted to initially propose. So thank you, Sky.
Awesome, thank you for that. All righty, any other discussion on this? No? Then I motion that we vote on Sky's language. Do I have any seconds?
Second that motion.
Oh, that was, thank you. Love the motivation. All righty, yes.
I just ask that you ask by unanimous consent to pass that.
Okay. You can definitely do that. It seems less contentious. All righty, any opposed? Any abstentions? Awesome, that passes by unanimous consent. Yeah, you good? Up to date? Awesome. Yes, Faye.
Just clarifying that now that was a vote to vote on it. Now we are voting, correct?
I believe
Or was the unanimous consent to?
vote for the language, right, Scott?
The motion just passed.
Yes.
All is well.
Yes.
Perfect. Was just curious.
Awesome. All righty. Okay, so I will open it up back to discussion since we're going back and forth. Is there any? Yes, Faye.
I just saw in the chart at the bottom that there is a section that says Student Delegates Program. I was just curious about if there was any thought of what that budget might be at this moment. I know that we have a resolution that is in progress for that, but I do not remember any specific numbers.
Okay, Sky and then Pat and then Irby, if that's a direct.
Absolutely. We just had the three authors raise their hands. I want to clarify, we passed this through the budget committee with the student delegates program line having been cut off. So this was what was submitted to the agenda. I want to apologize. That was an error. I'm going to put forward a motion to just remove that line from that image and we can take that out and post.
Awesome. Thank you. Good catch, Faye. Any other comments or concerns? No.
Just so
Pat?
yeah.
Please raise your hand. Thank you, Pat.
Oh my. Oh, I'm on you now.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got for the student delegates program, just direct response. We haven't allocated a fixed amount yet, just because we wanted to make sure that once we have a resolution that states how much we're gonna be like proposing in there, that's gonna be the number we use. We didn't want to be anticipating and remove that from, say, any other funds, and we wanted to make sure that these two were like our last funds that we used, that we were considering because we knew these were uncertain, and so this was the leftover that we have to the other previous current budgets that we have this year.
Awesome. Irby, do you still want to say something? No? Awesome. Okay. Yes, Emma. And then Faye. Matt, excuse me. Emma, please.
In a response, I would just advocate for keeping it there, just since it was on our goals. It kind of continues on from last year. It was on our goals, and then also it keeps consistent with last year's budget that did have it on there. Just as we don't have to use it, but it can just exist in an empty land, and I think that's okay and not the end of the world.
Awesome. Thank you. Direct response, Scott?
Yeah, I just want to clarify, there's no language in this resolution that talks about the student delegates program, and this chart says it's a visual representation of the above. There's also not a leadership development fund on this either because we did not allocate anything to it. The money that we're saving for the student delegates program is also talked about being saved in the unallocated fund. If in the future a budget amendment is proposed and we add a student delegates program, that could be done and we would add that to this. What I'm saying is the budget committee did not pass this resolution with that student delegates program little section of that image there. That's an error. I'm just asking to correct that. Not that we're refusing to allocate delegate program money in the future. That would be a budget amendment. So But I did make a motion. If someone wants to second it, we could move on to talking about that motion and then voting on it.
Before I go to Faye, I saw Matt, but I believe your question might have been answered by Sky. Is that correct? Let me not assume.
Well,
Matt?
part of it for me is, well, then the leadership training fund isn't on here either because we still need to actually develop that, but the delegates program is referenced under point 11 unallocated funds. So
Got it. Nope. Faye, did you still have something?
My thing was that I believe the motion was made and seconded, but I might be incorrect about that.
There was,
It wasn't seconded?
I don't believe it was seconded, but
Okay.
yeah. Alrighty. I will need whoever motion to restate their motion, please.
Yes, my motion is that we remove the section of that image that says student delegates program and then a blank box, because that was an error.
Okay. Any seconds?
Second.
Thank you. Alrighty. Then we will vote by, yes, unanimous consent. Alrighty. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None. Awesome. That passes by unanimous consent. Alrighty. Let's see. I will be opening up the discussion again. If there's anything else, just to give every counselor an opportunity. Yes, Pat.
I motion to vote.
Seconded.
Okay. I will do it by roll call. Yes, Sky.
This is a motion to, so you just ask it. This will- Suggestion.
Okay.
You wanted to roll call the motion to vote. I think that's probably.
Okay.
And vote before we clarify what this is too.
I want to clarify and then go decide from there. Yes. Yes, Irvi?
Point of clarification, are we voting on the same language or are we voting on the changed language?
Yeah, I'm going for
Yes, Pat.
I'm going to for the entire budget. We already passed for the motion for the other previous amendments to the language. Right now, I just want to make a motion to vote on the document itself, post all the approved change in language.
Awesome. All righty. The motion's been seconded. Thank you for the clarification. And we will do it by unanimous consent. Yes, I think that's a good call.
Point of order.
Yes.
I just want to clarify that the question right now that we're about to answer is whether or not we should vote.
Oh,
So this is not the passage of the legislation. Patrick's motion was motion to vote. We're about to vote on if we should vote. So that's the question. Is any opposed would be, should we
Okay.
vote on this is the
all right.
question.
Cool. We're
You made a
voting to
motion
vote.
You don't have to.
Okay, we are voting to vote then, for if there's any confusion on that, all right? Okay. All right. Yes, we will vote. I'm gonna do unanimous consent. All right. Are there anyone opposed to this? No? Any abstentions? Awesome, that passes by unanimous consent. Alrighty, yes, Faye. Okay, yes. Yes.
Would you be?
Sure, yeah, I'm amendable to that. I believe that was Pat, yeah.
And then it was seconded by me.
Yep. You're welcome. Alrighty. Now we're going to vote. Alrighty. I'm gonna do roll call just to make sure and give the EA a chance to like annotate each one. And we're gonna do it alphabetically. Alrighty. I don't have the names alphabetically.
It's easier when you just go from
Okay, we'll just do it that way then. Apologies, everyone.
I do want to recognize Maria's not in the room, just so you make it count.
Well. Yeah, it's gonna be an abstention, unfortunately. Alrighty, yes, Guy.
Point of order, if abstention or not in attendance?
Oh, yeah.
It has the same effect, but I don't think there is abstention's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna count it as an abstention. Alrighty, Emma.
Aye.
Nice. Oh, excuse me. Irvi,
Aye.
Rowan,
Wait, okay, so we're voting to pass the budget.
yes.
Yes.
Faye,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Cyrus,
Aye.
Patrick,
Aye.
Sky.
Nay.
Aye. Abstention from Maria. All righty. I believe that passes if my math is correct. Congrats, congratulations. All right. I believe that is it. I just want to, before we moved on, to congratulate all the authors. This is fundamental to advocacy for the rest of the year. So congrats to Irvi, Patrick, and Sky. Thank you so much for that. We'll make sure to let Dr. Burrow know as well. All righty. Let's see the next agenda here. Create and appoint representatives to a strategic planning advisory committee. Sky Childress, please take it away.
Absolutely. It's back to me as chairing me anyway. Okay. Okay. Yes, so create and appoint representatives to strategic planning committee. I added this. I spoke about adding it last week, so everyone should have heard a little bit about it. I have a amazing. I have a PowerPoint presentation. I didn't have this ready when I added it to the agenda, but this isn't official business to add this, so I don't necessarily need notice. But so this is a just explanation of these committees. They're not actually committees, they're working groups. So this working group recruitment, working group retention, working group
Speaking closer to it.
working group recruitment, working group retention, working group completion, post-grad outcomes, and org health. My proposal to the council, I want to elect some number of representatives to an advisory committee of TSAC that would go and fill these roles on these working groups. I've spoke to Dr. Jeffers, who is leading up this effort for the strategic plan 2030, and they think this would be a great idea. I do want to recognize Dr. Baron's advice that we make sure that we are staffing these working groups and making sure that there is student input on these once we have this committee decided. If you want to see more about what these working groups are, please ask questions. There are slides. We can go to them. All I had initially to say. Oh, Faye.
I was just going to ask if it would be possible to share these slides out to the rest of the council.
Absolutely. They are currently in the TSAC SharePoint under meeting documents. Si.
We look into retention.
Absolutely. It should be like a couple slides down from there. You'll probably have to scroll through. This is a presentation that Dr. Jeffers gave to the president's cabinet. And so it's not necessarily meant for this meeting, but it is retention, yeah, right there. This is sort of some information about it, who's co-leading it. I have actually been in contact with Megan Schersberg, the AVP for Enrollment Management. I'm very interested in being on this one right here. And I would love to be one of the members on this committee. But yes, retention working group. Okay.
Is there a ask or an idea that we appoint one or a number of counselors to every one of these working groups, or?
I don't have a specific ask. My suggestion to the council is that we appoint some number of people between, 3, 4, 5, whatever we want to do, to serve on these roles, so they can split up the working group work between them. These working groups will be both asynchronous and synchronous, meaning that it wouldn't necessarily just be a weekly meeting. There would be also lots of work to be done separately from that. My proposal, it's novel in the fact that I don't want to appoint one person to working group retention, one person to working group completion. I want to appoint just some folks to represent us to this strategic plan, because all of these working groups are part of the same strategic plan committee for 2030. And I want them to all meet together and work together on this, and not be separated into separate working groups. And that's the reason the proposal is novel from just adding people to groups. And I want to recognize Stephen.
Sure. I don't want to discredit anything that Sky said, because Sky has really good feedback and everything. So I do have a point of clarification that came out today, Sky, just for you and the entire group. So Dr. Jeffers is working with Brian Guerrero, who is in the Student Affairs Office. It's sort of a combined effort. They're chairing it to get collaboratively, and then they have the different leads, as Sky said, per each working group. So Brian reached out to me and said that Dr. Jeffers reached out to him and all the co-chairs of all these different working groups and asked and put forth your plan, Sky. And I think it was met with excitement and an ask. So they did ask that you all can decide how you want to do it. If you all want to appoint, let's say, an advisory committee of 5 folk to be on this, but they did ask to have a single primary point of contact per working group. So again, it could be earmarked. If they can't make it, there could be a secondary or anything like that. But again, from the co-leads and what they worked with Brian and Dr. Jeffers are that I think they think the proposal is fine that Sky has, but they really do want at least a primary point of contact. Some of their reasoning for that is if you have a rotating person for them, they're concerned with continuity and relying on a feedback loop, which isn't always great. They're also concerned with a wide array of input, and that could differ per person. Even as a committee, you all can talk through what your stance is as a group, but that could differ. And then they also said that for you all as students, schedules may not always align. So that's why if you have a primary person, maybe the secondary person, if the primary cannot come in, but that folks are welcome to be a part of it. So that was just a follow-up that I wanted to share. They would strongly ask that you consider your proposal and that you have your advisory group. That's fine. Folks are involved with it, but there is at least an earmarked primary point of contact. And if that's still not good, having also a secondary point of contact.
I want to directly respond to that because this is something that I've been working on, is that I'm not necessarily, I don't think that we as TSAC should appoint, let's say, Emma to recruitment and be the recruitment person and say, we want Emma to be the recruitment person. I'm saying that the committee we create can decide how they want to work with the other working groups. And so if their request is that they have a primary contact, this advisory committee could tell them, hey, your primary contact for recruitment is Emma. Even though we didn't necessarily appoint Emma to just recruitment. I think the communication can sort of work between them and they can add primaries, secondaries. I think this is all really for the same purpose, which is getting us closer to our strategic plan as a university. And I think that we should have one advisory committee for that purpose, the TSAC, absolutely working as best as those co-leads need and in the ways that those need within it. Is that a direct response back to me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Stephen and then we'll hear others.
This is my last comment. That's fine. You all can decide how you want to do that. What I'm sharing though is that the ask of this group is that you do however you appoint the committee, however the committee decides, that's fine. But their ask is that there is a primary point of contact per working group.
Okay, we'll go to Emma first.
I think this is mostly all clarification. So Sky, just to clarify, kind of the meshed between you and Steven's points would be that we would just elect people to this strategic planning, but then we as a strategic planning committee would then decide internally who is the point of contact for each group. But we as TSAC are not electing each group a point of contact, because I feel like we could still elect each person as a point of contact for one. I think that's fine. But then it's just knowing that importance that it is then a group of all of us meeting together. And then, yeah.
I can directly respond. I think that this group that we elect should meet separate from these working groups to strategize on how they're going to staff these working groups and how they're going to make that work. And I don't think it's useful for us to decide for that group who should be on recruitment. It might be more useful for them to meet and decide that as they learn more about these working groups. So we don't know that much about them. We don't know their schedules yet. And we might have a rough idea, but we don't know everything about those yet. So I'm saying if you're interested in the strategic planning advisory committee, we should elect folks to that and they can decide from there. And additionally, it's not just that committee would then say, your job is recruitment. Everyone would be giving input on the entire strategic plan, committee, including all these working groups. But one person would necessarily need to be a point of contact. And the committee can decide that. I don't think we need to decide who sends the emails. Patrick?
Okay, I mean, my question comes similar as to Emma, like, on clarification on this. So we're just, currently the proposal is that we elect 4 counselors, three to four, 2 for an advisory group, and within that advisory committee, we will then decide how we will divvy up those responsibilities between attending the retention and recruitment strategies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Certainly. Okay. More discussion, or is there a motion anyone has?
Go
Okay,
for Matt.
let's go Matt first.
I just, I guess, wanted a clarification on the structure of this committee. Because typically we've gone with like a chair, co-chair kind of setup. With this setup, I don't necessarily, I don't know, I guess I'm going to pose the question if it should have a chair or just we're electing the 4 or 5 people and they're the committee.
I guess I want to clarify that, I didn't put forward a motion, so I haven't clarified. The person that makes the motion can say that. I think what would be best would be essentially electing some number of people and one person being their, lead or chair, so that when they meet, they can have someone to sort of organize those internal meetings and sort of guide them. I think that'd be a great idea. I think it'll be quite of a different committee than like a standing committee, but I wouldn't oppose having like a chair of this advisory committee, not at all. Faye?
I was going to basically second what you said, and then also offer that, like, instead of trying to have 5 people do a report back at once, you kind of have whoever is filling that more like leadership role within this committee is the one who's like kind of pulling all of these strands together to bring the report back to TSAC. As just a thought.
Wonderful. Any other discussion? Go ahead, Will.
Yes, just real quick. So we're not establishing the exact number yet, correct? We're just discussing
So I want to clarify.
structure, right?
Yeah, I want to clarify that there is not a question before the council. There's no motion. So if someone wants to make a motion, someone could motion they want to have so many number of people on this committee, and they want to have a chair, and feel free to word your motion how you'd like to. I don't want to make the motion. So
I guess I'm just more curious as to like a number. I don't know. I just like input from the people who worked on this and the council in general.
I want to ask, are there, just not as a vote, but raise your hand if you're interested in being a member or part of this committee. Okay, by my count, that's 4. Okay. 5.
6.
Can I ask
6 people.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Maybe I feel like I would need more time to look over these slides to see what I'm getting into. To commit to anything.
I do want to clarify that if you were to be appointed to a committee today and decide it's not for you, you could resign, and it would not be like this big, it wouldn't be Watergate, it'd be okay. You could resign and it'd be okay. You just didn't know what it was.
Be in Watergate.
Yeah. Did you have something, Patrick?
Yeah. Do we have a deadline when we have to submit our candidates?
I want to clarify that they are meeting, and they have been for a little bit. They did not remember to reach out to us until a little bit later in the process, so they would like to get us involved in these as soon as possible. I was hoping to have an answer for Dr. Devers today. So was that 6 hands that I saw of interested folks? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put forward a motion. I'm going to motion that we have a working group of 6 people with 1 lead or chair to lead or chair them. And I'm going to pass it off to Will to chair this section of the meeting now that I've made a motion that I'm interested in. Ooh, my co-chair. So sorry. I forget because this is we're not both authoring something. I'm gonna pass it to my co-chair to do that. So sorry.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll see if there's a second to the motion. Yeah, I don't see a
Point of
second.
clarification, can you say the number you said one more time?
Yes, I motion that we have a 6-person strategic plan committee with 1 lead/chair.
I just ask a point of clarification. How many groups within this are there? Like, can you refresh my memory?
I can refresh. There are 5 working groups, 4 with express need for student support.
I would offer that 5 might be a good number then, if there's 5 groups.
Okay.
I believe Sky's motion was partly just because there was also 6 people who were interested, as well.
Help out.
So,
I retract my motion.
Okay. All right, Armando, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just gonna offer advisors advice. I would recommend 2 to 3 just because 5 to 6, you already have issues with scheduling, and 5 to 6 people is almost impossible. We could barely be on all 12 with this. And I do want to recommend for those who have not had other positions, I want to acknowledge, Sky, you do have a lot on your plate. So I know you're interested, but I do want to express, maybe to sit one thing out so you can have more capability and allow other counselors, whatever. There's an appointment process. You all will go through that. But I just want to recognize that there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. So making sure that it's fair, equitable between everybody to have a chance to do something as well.
Thank you, Armando. Sky?
Yes, I want to change my motion, having had Emma not express interest. But before I make the motion, I want to say something. I think that we have 5 people interested in this. We should start the committee off with 5 people. If someone feels they don't have enough time, they can structure their responsibilities within that committee to make sure they have enough time to commit to their responsibilities. I also think that just because we elect 5 committee members doesn't mean that we'd essentially be electing 1 to each of these groups. That committee can decide on that. So I put forward a motion that we have a 5-person group with 1 lead/co-lead.
Second.
Motion now, somebody else second the motion, and I'll open for discussion of the motion. But I see I have a hand up here, Stephen.
this is just a clarification on date, October 2nd. So this committee would have to meet relatively soon and decide. Just wanted to give that to you all to decide.
So deadline, sorry to declare, so we have a deadline of essentially before October 2nd to have already set already, be prepared. So just to let the record reflect, today is the 25th, a week. William Coates.
Yes, I just want to clarify some language you used, Sky, when you said in the motion of, the people who are in those 5 counselors in this, them having to find time and whatnot. I interpreted a bit in a more concerning way. I would instead think that maybe we should allow some grace since there's a lot of stuff going on for those 5 counselors. But yeah, that's I don't know if that's how you meant it, but that's how I understood it. So I just want some clarification on that.
Direct response, Scott.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that wasn't part of the motion. That was just my discussion beforehand. The motion was just to have a 5-person committee with 1 lead. But I hear what you're saying. I want to clarify that also there's no negative connotation to needing to find time to dedicate toward things. I think we all have to manage our schedules. That's something everyone has to do.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I have a question. Within the advisory committee, especially given the fact that we wanted the whole potential reason that we wanted to have more counselors available within participating in this is that given that we already have a whole lot of committees that we are participating actively, and I would also like to motion to extend the meeting by 5 minutes.
second.
I think we can 5. Yeah.
I mean, I would offer a friendly amendment to the motion unless it's already been seconded, but I believe it might, because I don't think 5 will be enough time, honestly.
Point of order, I believe you could also put another motion forward to extend it longer.
I then motion to extend it beyond 5 because I don't believe 5 minutes is really going to encompass enough time.
I would like to retract my motion and we put in a new motion for 10 minutes extension. Is there a second to that?
A second.
All right. I would like to do vote by unanimous consent. So is there any in opposition? We have one in opposition. Any abstentions? Well, it looks like the motion passes. The meeting has extended 10 minutes. Move on with Scott.
My earlier motion having been made and seconded, I motion to vote on that motion.
Okay. I feel like we still
Point
had
of
some
clarification, can you
discussions.
restate the motion real quick?
Yes, the original motion was motion to have a 5-person committee, strategic plan advisory committee with one lead/chair.
Okay. Is it still open for discussion until, let me see.
Point of order.
Do we have any hands up? Yeah.
The point of order was just that I made a motion to vote. And so I believe Faye was about to second it. And if they
I will
do,
second, yeah.
then
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Then I would like to offer unanimous consent to vote. Is there any opposition?
I abstain.
Okay, is there any abstentions? Thank you. All right. Motion passes. 2 abstentions? All right. Motion passes then. All right, then we'll do by roll call similar that we did earlier. I feel like it'll be easier to track. Who wants to, or we can just raise our hands. We can, whoever wants to participate, or because we're motioning to vote to commence the advisory, or I'm getting confused. Let's do a vote, and then it's consent. Is there any opposition on voting to creation of the new advisory committee, advisory committee for this? Is there any opposition?
Point of clarification. So the motion was it the one to approve it with the one chair?
Yes, one chair,
Okay.
5 people.
Oh,
Yeah, to have one chair and to have one leading chair and 5 individuals within this advisory committee, which will be for the currently strategic plan implementations for the 4 different groups. All right, I'll do any oppositions. Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Abstain.
Motion passes. Sky?
A motion to open the nominations period for the new committee.
Second.
Matt?
I nominate William Coates.
I'll be honest. I have no idea what this is, never seen any of these slides. I don't feel comfortable taking on this work without knowing prior to. And yes, Sky, I understand I can resign later, but I will not be doing that. So I decline.
Okay. Sky?
I nominate myself, Patrick, Sai, Faye, and Rowan.
I would like to also respectfully decline.
I'll accept the nomination.
I will also accept the nomination.
I'll accept the nomination.
Scott?
Was that not the 5 that raised their hands with interest? No, yeah, absolutely. I just want to make sure that I didn't forget someone because I wanted to nominate everyone who was interested. So
Nope. That's 4. Sky, Sai.
So you need one.
I would like to nominate Emma Fox.
I would like to decline for the same reasons as well. I am not super familiar with these slides. I am not familiar with the commitment and yeah.
Okay.
You 3 accepted your nomination. Okay. I motion that we approve these 4 representatives and leave the 5th vacant until a future appointment.
Yeah.
Second.
Second for that motion.
Second that motion.
Motion passed. We don't have to vote on. Any opposition? No. Alrighty. Any abstentions? Okay. Motion passes. Congratulations, everybody. We have an advisory committee. And I have a quite raising hand, so I'm gonna start with Matt and then go here with Sky.
Are we also nominating the chair of this ad hoc committee during this time?
Direct response?
Yeah, that was my next question. Is there anyone that wants to be chair of this committee? Not the chair.
I would like to nominate myself for chair of this committee.
Second that. No, that's not.
Matt?
I would like to nominate Cyrus Holt for this position.
Cyrus Holt, do you accept?
I decline that nomination. I appreciate it though.
Womp womp. Rowan, you did accept, or you nominated yourself?
Yes.
Do you accept your own nomination?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Okay, now looks, do we have any other nominations for the position of chair of the new advisory committee? No, seeing that there's no opposition, I would like to have a vote for the new chair on the advisory committee.
I motion to approve Rowan as the chair of the new advisory committee.
Cool.
Second.
Second on motion. All right. Any opposition? Any abstentions? All righty. Looks like we have, this passes, motion passes.
Yeah.
Sky,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
any opposition? Any abstentions?
Pretty good. Nope.
All righty. Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, good job. Let's end this meeting.
Abstain.
On public like that's record now.
No, sure is. Oh.
Be like, yeah, let's